Look at you.
Oh, I have one person. Oh, boy. Hello, one person in here. What's going on, buddy? Hey, what's up, Ollie? How are you? Nice to see you. Yeah, I figured I'd just pop up for an hour tonight, just do a little street outreach, keep my mojo going. Hi, sir. Hello. Can't really pronounce your name, but welcome to the stream. We're gonna be out here for an hour doing some street outreach. Hi, Daniel. How are you? That's good. Yeah, I was gonna come out yesterday, but it just wasn't working out. Like the weather got crazy. It got super windy. Um, it ended up being just a terrible night. So I said, okay, I'll come out tonight if it's not windy, and it's not bad. What's up, Felix? Absolutely. Oh, my pleasure, Felix. I'm hoping to have some productive conversations too tonight. Um, really didn't feel like coming out here tonight, but you know, why not? Energy levels will get there as I go on, right? And it's actually not a bad night out. It feels pretty good outside. So there'll be some walkers by. Just don't have any currently. We'll get some people in here. We got to bait them. We got to bait them. Daniel, I am from Maryland. So that's where we're from. We are from Maryland. And we are in a town in Maryland. So that's where we're at right now. Yeah, it's a little dead right now, but it's okay. That might change. You get out when you can. This was my only slot to get out today, so we'll see what we can do. I at least want to go live once a week, and if it has to be kind of anticlimactic, the absolute bare minimum that happens is we put this beautiful word out in the limelight for all the people to see, you know, make it more palpable, get people thinking, maybe critically thinking a little bit, and go from there. Hi guys, how's it going? How are you? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe we get these guys. Hi guys, how's it going? How are you? You guys want to try a few questions?
Please, sir.
Oh,
sir.
okay.
Please, sir.
Man,
Let's go.
that didn't take long at
We're
all.
up close and personal. So, here's a question, sir.
Oh yeah.
Go and shoot.
Yeah, okay, so I got three. The first one is, do you guys know what veganism is? Have you heard of it?
Yes, sir.
What's your definition of it?
A person who doesn't eat meat and who
Yeah.
doesn't like to kill animals.
Yeah, okay, that's probably more of one of the accurate definitions I've
Yes,
heard.
sir.
Diet's part of it, but it's more so to do with the ethos. You know, it's a rejection of the direct exploitation of animals and voting for it with the dollar.
Yes.
The other question is, are you guys against animal abuse?
Yes, I am. Do not kill any animals. I don't
Yeah.
care. Not even a rat.
No kidding. That's
In
it's
China,
like
they eat them.
I know, right? They're out of control. They have
They
frog
process
soup.
them and
What
cats
don't
and
Kill no
dogs.
rat for.
what don't
Eat
they?
them. In China, they do.
What don't they eat in China? It's like an unbelievable,
COVID here.
unbelievable profile of items that they eat over there.
sir.
What's your last question?
The last question is, how do you think we can collectively be against animal abuse if we're still voting for it when we buy it 3 times a day, like chickens and
You know why?
pigs
You know
and
how?
stuff?
By praying, sir.
By-
to
by-
not kill animals. Yeah?
Okay.
And we'll also have to go to the White House and talk to Donald Trump.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a bill about it.
Yeah.
Stop killing these animals. I don't care if
Yeah.
it's in Texas, Nebraska, Colorado, or Maryland. We
Yeah.
need to stop doing it.
Yeah.
It's
I agree.
It's premeditated murder.
It
sir.
really is, and that's like I feel like that's your vegan heart, you know.
Oh man, I'm a vegan myself.
Oh, are you vegan?
All
Oh, cool.
my life.
Oh, okay, right
I've
on.
never tasted a piece of meat in my life. I don't know why.
So no eggs, no cheese.
No.
That's
only,
unbelievable.
Only fruit and vegetables.
That's
sir.
the way to go.
I'm a Christian.
Because the vote is with the dollar, and if
Yeah.
we're voting with the dollar
Yeah.
to kill animals,
Yeah.
which is if we're not vegan,
And what
then we're
happened was-
kind of hypocritical,
Right.
you
I'm
know.
homeless right now because
Oh, gotcha.
my house burned down and I
Holy
have no
smokes! I'm sorry to
family.
hear that.
And
Yeah.
just trying to see if anyone can help me with a small donation.
Oh,
just to
I
get
gotcha, I
water
gotcha.
and a hot dog from 7-Eleven.
Yeah. I have nothing but my freaking card on me right now,
Oh,
so it's
man,
not going to help you. I'm
Right,
sorry.
no problem,
I really
man.
appreciate
Well,
you
hey,
stopping by.
Closed
Yeah.
mouths don't get fed. But
Yeah.
Thank you for that question.
Yeah,
sir.
well, you gotta speak up, right?
sir.
And you're doing it, and that's how. And I appreciate you being vegan. That's
Thank you very
awesome.
much. God bless you.
Well, God bless you. Have a great day. Here. Yeah, we let that one fizzle out. Okay. Well, if you're just getting here, oh, we have some police here with me now. Okay, great. One thing, if you guys, anybody here that's interested in coming out and speaking up for the animals, do not be worried or perturbed or anything by any kind of police. Like they honestly make them your friends if you can, because it's within your rights to come out into these public spaces and to do what I'm doing right now. And they know that. And the thing is, like, we're so fear-mongered to not do this by mainstream media and just narratives. Like, everyone's scared of everything. Like, oh my God, I don't want to be doing this in an area. I don't want to get caught or do this in an area that I can't. What's up, buddy? You want to try a few quick questions? Have a good night. But you can definitely do it. I was thinking of even coming together with some people and maybe finding like making like a hub and somehow finding a different ways to find public spaces on the grid, which we all can kind of hive mind with, so we all know what spaces are public and which are private, so we know where to go and do pop-up activism like this. It is dry tonight, but if I get one conversation, that'll be worth it. Thanks for all the hearts, guys. You guys are killing it with the yeah, that last guy, I honestly, I don't think he was vegan, but he was, you know, he saw where the conversation was going, and I wasn't really going to call him out. He said he was homeless. I mean, he's got it hard enough right now. What's up, Lewis? What's going on? Jared Young says, okay, so what does your ideal world look like? Well, the ideal world, which I think is everybody's ideal world, is a world without violence. And one way of which you can vote for that world 3 times a day is by being vegan. You can't do anything about peripheral systems and systems like crop deaths and you know, animals, by-kill, things along those lines. But what you can do is remove your vote from the direct animal exploitation. And being vegan is the way to vote for a peaceful world. Hey Nora, how you doing? Oh my God, we're getting so many hearts. What's up, buddy? How are you? You want to try a few questions? You're on the phone. I got you. At least got to try. Even if he's on the phone, we got to try. I have like a ghost town out here tonight, so maybe I'm just gonna hang out with you guys. Well, yeah, this is pretty chill. This is pretty chill. What was I talking about? I can't even remember. Hi, guys. Someone in the background just tripped. Can you laugh out loud for me? What? Oh, I missed that one. Hi there. How are you? You want to try a few questions? It's on my YouTube live. Only take 3 minutes. It's up to you. I got you. You're en route. You're en route. Oh, look at all those hearts coming in. Hi there. How are you? So yeah, so coming soon on my channel, I'm going to be switching up the dynamic a little bit. I just bought a few things from the local department store today, and you'll see when I start it. So it should be exciting. But I'm going to still be doing lives once a week. How's it going, sir? You want to try a few quick questions?
Oh, no thanks.
Just real quick. Okay. Have a great day. Take care. That's right, everybody. Tap that thumbs up and subscribe. If you can, if you'd like to, if you want to. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it, gamer. Tired said, I'm a vegetarian. Does that count? Well, the one thing about vegetarianism is that it can be just as cruel as eating meat. What's going on, guys? You guys want to try a few quick questions? It's 3 minutes? Okay. Have a good night. Vegetarianism can be just as cruel as non-veganism because you are kind of funding a system that is inherently full of rape and violence. And I don't know, it's almost, if you went vegetarian for ethics, you should hopefully default into vegan because that's where the real ethos lies. But if you went vegetarian for ethics, good on you. You know, your heart's there, but a lot of people don't know about the dairy industry and how terrible it is because, you know, beef cows are killed for beef in the beef industry. Cows are also killed in the dairy industry. So it's not like you're absolving out of that when you fund vegetarian systems. Xavier says, what is this for? Just curious. Well, Xavier, I'm out here on the streets tonight, and it's almost reminiscent of that scene from Vanilla Sky with Tom Cruise circa 2001 when he cleared Times Square. So in essence, right now, I'm hanging out with you guys tonight. So if you guys have any questions on, you know, why, you know, maybe regarding the question, or if you have any objections regarding the question, let me know, and me and some people in the chat can help field that for you. But thanks for being here, Lewis and Nora, Gamer, all familiar faces. What's going on, dude? You want to try a few quick questions? YouTube Live?
Good, brother.
Challenge you a little bit. Have a great night. Guy said he's good, brother. This man is good. Well, the animals aren't good. They're far from good. Lewis says there's no biological requirement in the human body for animal flesh, since there's no essential nutrient for humans that can only be obtained by consuming the flesh of animals. That's right. Absolutely. And that leaves us with stark implications. Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few questions?
No, that's good.
You sure? Could, okay. Have a great night. My pleasure. Okay. I think it's because they don't care and they eat everything. Been watching a few of Chip's lives. They've been getting really heated. A few of them have been getting heated. That last one from 2 days ago, man. And then there was the one from last week with those 3 girls. I couldn't believe it. It just went on forever. It went on forever. They didn't leave. They just kept like trolling, human trolling. Cultural indoctrination. That's right. That's what it is. I don't know. What do you guys think our time horizon is on a vegan world? On the lion's share of the population being vegan? I'm thinking, I don't know. I think 25 years. I really want it to happen sooner, but realistically, I think 25 years, and within that time frame, a real sea change. In fact, who knows? It could happen a lot faster if there is a change event, like a big event that catalysts us into having to really eat more vegan for, pandemics, stuff like that. Hi guys, how's it going? You guys want to try a few quick questions? Could challenge you a little bit. Up to you. No pressure. No pressure. I'm just a guy hanging out.
Well, one question.
Well, okay. Well, the first question is easy. It's do you know what veganism is? Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay. It's basically it's a moral stance against violence. So a lot of people think it's a diet, but it's more so has to do with philosophy. It's kind of removing the dollar from your monetary vote when it comes to buying animal products. So when we buy animal products, we support violence and oppression. And a lot of us don't know we're doing it, but we're doing it 3 times a day if we're not vegan. So I'm just out here putting a little limelight in the vegan word today and helping people. Are you guys against animal abuse in general? I know that's the second question, but you're not against it.
I'm not with it, but like.
Oh, yeah. But you're against animal abuse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, animal abuse is inherent to eating animals because not only are they killed, but they get spit on, they get punched, they get laughed at, they get SA'd, if you know what SA'd, means. Got to speak in code, I'm on YouTube Live. But I would ask you this next question, and this is really the last one, is what would stop you guys from being vegan if you considered all this information?
I don't know.
It's something to ponder. Nobody thinks about it. Nobody thinks about it. And it's meant for that to happen. The control narratives that run the world, they don't want you to think about it at all. They want you to keep doing everything that everybody else is doing. But in 2025, we have this opportunity to be leaders and to put our actions where our values are in 2025. So if you guys get a chance, my channel name is Vegan Sign Guy. Check me out. I got resources there, all kinds of stuff. I know you're on your way. You're going somewhere, but you had the bravery to stop. But remember, Vegan Sign Guy, and you can see all the interviews I have.
Thank you.
Guys, have a great night. That was kind of a stretch. They were half listening, and there seems to be more people walking by now, so maybe we'll get some people kind of interested. Oh, that's the thing. We don't really need supplements, Tired. No, there's no point. You don't need supplements. I mean, you have B12. You can easily take that. Non-vegans get that supplemented as well. Fish oil or algae oil, you can just take that. Non-vegans also get that supplemented or indirectly from the fish who gets it from the algae. So that's where your supplement kind of barrier stops. There's really no supplements, dude. You just eat calories, eat enough, and you're good. There's a lot of just false narratives, false information propagated out there that you need this, you need that. You have to have this, you have to have that. You do, guys, an orange has every single essential amino acid, even an orange. Xavier says, what do you eat if you're vegan? Well, you can eat all kinds of stuff. In fact, I got a great video reference for you. YouTube Maccabee, Maccab, Maccabee, and what I eat. YouTube that. It's a great video. That's all the food you can eat when you're vegan. It's literally tons and tons and tons of variety and food and the like. So, check it out. Lentils, chickpeas, you can eat burgers, pizzas, name all the fruits and vegetables, name all the grains. I mean, it's a utopia it's a real utopia of options. I mean, what can't you eat's more the question. I just had 2 chicken patties for dinner, but they were vegan chicken. Taste the same, no cholesterol, no heterocyclic amines, no IGF-1, no copious amounts of saturated fat, like none of that crap. Hi there, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. You want to try a few questions?
Not
Or
today.
all good, all good. You're on your way. It's so cute, by the way. Have a great night. She had a cute little dog. Oh my God. But you can eat everything, Xavier. There's really not much that you cannot eat. You can pretty much eat everything. everything you're eating right now as a non-vegan, you can eat as a vegan. You're not missing out on anything. It's very simple. It's just getting through all the friction that control narratives present. That's really it. It's really simple. Tired says, it seems to me to be a strictly emotional argument, not based in fact. Well, I mean, I think it's actually both. I think it's based in fact and it's emotional. And most people, even if they're non-vegan, they're vegan at heart. Like those guys that I just talked to, they all said they're against animal abuse. The first guy I talked to, he said he's against animal abuse. So, you guys got time for a few quick questions? Just 3 questions? Okay, have a good night. Yeah, so it is based in fact. I mean, on the dietary standpoint, you're healthier. So it's not only, a win for the animals, you're healthier. This is just, and that's not why we go vegan, but it's a huge bonus to going vegan. Huge bonus. Yeah, we're definitely not obligate carnivores or obligate herbivores. Omnivores. RB says humans are omnivores. There's your counter argument. I actually invited somebody to my channel today who is he's a doctor. I won't say his name because I want it to be a surprise, but he is a doctor that has been an MD for quite some time. He's written books on our herbivorous anatomical design and how fallacious it is to believe we're omnivores. So stay tuned. I just messaged him out today for my 3rd episode where I interview doctors and stuff like that and kind of break down arguments and address barriers. So if I get this guy, which I bet you he's going to be game for coming on. What's up, buddy? A lot of work tonight, man.
Yeah,
Killing it. Cool.
all day, every day.
Right on. That's the way to go. But yeah, we're not omnivores. We are herbivores by design. You look at our intestines, they're like 30 feet long. Omnivores have 7 to 15 feet intestines. Look at our canines. You're not going to tear apart an animal with those little canines. I'm talking raw, right out in nature. The argument is so ridiculous. Good night, guys. We got some chatty people coming up here. Maybe they want to talk. Might get some people down. Baseless argument we evolved past. Okay, let me address this. Hang on. Hi guys. How's it going, everybody? Guys, want to try a few quick questions? YouTube live?
Sure,
All right.
I'll ask.
Oh, no kidding. Okay, cool. You're on my YouTube live. Is that cool?
Okay, hi.
All right. It's just 3 questions, and
Okay.
they're not hard. Do you know what veganism is, or what do you think veganism is?
Isn't it you don't consume any products that are from an animal at all?
Yes, that is totally integral, and consumption is part of it, but I like to amplify on it because it goes a bit deeper. It's a few layers deeper. It has to do with inherently rejecting the exploitation of other sentient beings. And if it has to do with clothes, consequentially, it has to do with clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you just brought up food. If it has to do with food, then consequentially, it has to do with food.
Okay.
So that's what I like to just amplify on. The second is, are you against animal abuse, like yourself?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Reflexively, right? Most
Yeah.
people, not everybody, but most people are like, yes. I had a guy last week. He's like, what do you mean? I'm not really. I'm kind of on the fence. I'm like, okay, I don't know. You're scaring me, sir.
Not into that.
Right. So the third question is the hard one, and it's how can we be against it collectively if we're voting for it 3 times a day? Like as far as our monetary vote with the dollar, the kind of catalyst of supply and demand. And that's the hard question. And I appreciate you having the bravery to stop by.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, like if we're collectively voting for that abuse 3 times a day, and
Yeah.
let me just fit in a snippet here. And I wouldn't even say abuse is the right word. I think it's 1, 2, 3 times an uptick from abuse concerning the holistic, everything the animal goes through. If we are voting for that collectively, like us as a society, how can we be against animal abuse, like value-wise?
That's T. Yeah.
right.
Right.
It's definitely like something to steep with, and we're never kind of presented with that posturing.
Yeah, like
Uh,
comparing spending your money as a vote.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, because the ballot is, I mean, the monetary ballot, that gets counted every single time.
Right.
You know, the political ballot, it'll get counted, and there's a lot of things that go on, and politics are, I mean, politics are politics, but the supply and demand system is never wrong.
Right.
And animals go through an insane amount of stuff just for our taste pleasure because we don't need them for nutrition. So what would stop you from being vegan? And then I gotta ask you too. What about you,
Um,
both you guys?
I think the number one thing, honestly, would
Yeah.
be I struggle with getting protein into my
Yeah.
diet anyway,
Yeah.
and just the convenience of like using animal products as a source of protein
Totally.
is just like the easiest and most cost-effective way. Just because I don't have time to meal prep, I
Yeah.
don't necessarily have the funds to buy like vegan alternatives
Yeah.
all the time. So
Heard-
that would be like my
Heard
biggest
100%.
struggle.
Yeah, and that makes total sense too. This whole world is set up for like
Oh,
meat,
yeah.
cheese, milk, and eggs on a
Absolutely.
convenience basis, right? But then, like, the tough part comes when we have to kind of weigh things and say, okay, does this outweigh the fact that an animal is going to see the slaughterman just for a
Yeah.
few seconds of our taste experience?
Yeah.
So that's a question to kind of weigh, like habit, taste, and convenience, all that.
Hmm.
Uh, do you think that's worth an animal's like life? Like say a sentient animal that wants to have a family, or maybe they don't, but maybe they deserve bodily autonomy. Like what do you think about that? That's a tough
That's a
question.
tough question to answer.
I know. But that's why I'm out here, because these kinds of dynamics never happen on TV. They
Yeah.
never happen on Netflix. You'll never see a show like this on Netflix because there's no money to be made in this kind of dynamic. So that's why I have friends in different areas of the world. We just go out and do pop-up activism like this just to get people thinking a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's how change happens, right at the roots. Not in the political system, not in legislation. Some does,
Yeah.
but supply and demand is the ultimate,
Totally.
the ultimate maker.
Yeah.
And we have to, try to tilt buying dynamics. But would it be that? Would that be the biggest reason? Would be the convenience?
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
I think I grew up struggling with anemia, and
Yeah,
so
iron,
my family was just like, okay, let's have red
Yeah.
meat. And
Yeah.
so that just became something for me, and that's I've just grown up eating meat, and so
Yeah.
that became like my main source of protein.
I got you.
But I would love to, like, if it was the same thing and just
Yeah.
not meat product, I would probably eat it.
I'll tell you one thing. Okay, before I came here, I had 2 chicken sandwiches, 2 of them. I still eat meat. I'm a junk food vegan. I still eat meat and cheese and milk and eggs, just a vegan version of, right?
Okay.
You have Just Egg, Beyond Meat, Impossible.
Yeah.
You have Vio Life cheese. You have oat milk, Oatly, whatever. And you'll hear a lot of negative things about them because that machine, that agriculture machine,
Absolutely.
via incumbent industry, does not want people to change their
Yeah, they
habits.
just emphasize the sodium.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all this stuff. And it's
You
like-
nailed it. That's the big thing. They're always like the sodium.
Yeah.
It's like, for God's sakes. Okay, in meat you have the or you do have a little bit of sodium, but you also have heterocyclic amines, IGF-1. It's basically a cancer risk factor. It's a hormone. You have hormones and growth factors, plaque promoting cholesterol, copious amounts of saturated fat. Like the Beyond Meat still has saturated fat, but a regular beef patty has a lot more. And these are the things that, create type 2 diabetes and create heart disease and stuff
Right.
like that. And, to lament that these things have, like you just said, the sodium, it's like such a cop-out, It's like, for
Yeah.
God's sakes.
Yeah.
But I had two chicken sandwiches made by Morningstar, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Morningstar. And I'm not trying to like pump brands or anything
No,
like right
but
now,
that's honestly the one that I'm seeing. It's either like Impossible Burger or
Yeah.
it's Morningstar.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, whatever's in the freezer.
Yeah, and we can all get to that utopia, whole food, plant-based, no oil, amazing healthy diet. But I mean, in the transitional phase, or just while you're becoming more aware of our what we do with like the actions of going up to the cash register and just voting,
Yeah.
these are great alternatives, and some of them taste amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
My channel name is Vegan Sign Guy. I don't have my cards on me tonight,
No.
but I appreciate you guys stopping by.
Can I plug a vegan company that I really love?
Please, yes.
So I lived in Amsterdam last year.
Holy smokes! I have a vegan friend activist that does activism just like this, and he has the same sign in
There is
Amsterdam.
a fantastic chain. It's called Vegan Junk Food Bar.
Oh, amazing!
And
Sorry.
their whole branding is
Yeah.
pink and black, and it's delicious. It's
Oh.
burgers and chicken and like loaded fries,
I
and it's
love this.
delicious.
I'm
I'm
going.
not vegan, but I ate it over regular meat, and it's
Yeah.
so much fun.
That's it. Okay. Well, Chip, did you hear that? I'm gonna come there, and you're taking me there, okay, on a date. But we'll go halfsies. But yeah, Amsterdam. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys go. What's your names?
I'm Lily.
I'm Jimmy.
Nice
What's your
to
name?
meet you.
Callie, nice to meet you both. Thanks
Nice
for
to meet you.
having the bravery to stop by tonight. A lot of people,
Absolutely.
but of course it's reflex not to. It's a word that it just sparks emotion to a degree. It's a very sensitive thing, and a lot of people, and I'll leave you with this, think, oh, we're trying to take your freedom away. We're trying to take your freedom away. First off, if you remember Vegan Sign Guy, my channel name, I have an interview I did with a doctor. His name is Will Tuttle on freedom. We talked about freedom for like an hour. You're shoring up systems of freedom when you're vegan, and you're exacting just better karmic return all around. But he goes, not me, it's all him, goes way into the video. But anyway, let you guys go.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Absolutely. Have a great
Yeah, have a
night,
good night.
guys.
Be safe.
You too. Stay warm. That was a pleasant conversation. We still got Lewis in here, the vegan Democrat. Is that a new fundamentally morally indefensible? What is fundamentally morally correct? Yeah, absolutely. Veganism, respecting animal rights, is a moral obligation. That's right. All right, maybe we'll try the other side of the sign for a little bit. Should we respect animals? Try to get some people like this. I mean, we can do this. We can be friendly. We can all come out here, and it's great. I'm gonna stay out here for about an hour tonight. Maybe I'll get some more conversations. Maybe we'll have some curious people in the chat. Hi there. How are you? You want to try a few quick questions? You'll be on my YouTube live. Are you cool? Why not? I love that. Okay, amazing. Okay, so the first question.
What's your
My channel. Well, I'll tell you a little bit, because if I tell you the channel name, it'll give it away. So what do you think? Should we respect animals? I guess that's the first question that I asked.
I had a budgie just like that one.
Oh, really? Wait,
Yeah.
a kitty or what?
No, a budgie.
What's a budgie?
A parakeet.
I don't even know what that is. Okay, very cool. It's so cute, right? I like the kitten. So do you have any pets right now?
No, dude.
Okay.
I don't have time.
Yeah, it is such a time thing. I have 2 cats, and it's just a lot of maintenance, and then you got their personalities. Then you got to accommodate the personalities. It just gets crazy. But I love them to death. I have Leo and I have Stella. Those are their names. Okay, my next question, are you against animal abuse in general?
Yes.
Reflexively, right?
Yeah.
Now the hard question is, what do you think about the animals that we put into slaughterhouses? What do you think about like the chickens and the pigs and all those guys?
I mean, here's what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'm Muslim.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
we have, like, when we, kind of go through the process of killing the animal, it's more
Yeah.
of like, we have to ensure that they're not in pain and.
Yes. I'm familiar with halal. Yeah, I'm familiar. We have kind of a position on halal. You have this option of killing them terribly, killing them with compassion, I guess, which more what you're referring to. But there's a third option, and we don't need anything from an animal nutritionally, so it leaves us with these stark implications,
I believe that.
right? So my whole mission when I come out on the streets is to kind of appeal to.
So you're like pushing people towards like veganism.
Or more so like having them not push themselves, but more introspect on it themselves.
Okay.
Because like your heart is vegan already because you're against animal abuse, and you had, what did you call it again? What kind of animal?
It's a budgie, dude.
Okay, I gotta Google it when I go home. Okay, yeah, we just try to get people to kind of take stock of where they're already at, and I guess realize that when we vote for systems of non-vegan, we're voting for, and we're voting for.
Dude, I didn't get no meat today.
That's
I'll tell you
amazing.
that.
That's amazing.
I'll tell you that.
That's amazing. But I would give you a card. I don't have my cards on me tonight. My channel name is Vegan Sign Guy, and you'll see yourself on this live too a little later on. It's just a little live. I do a live once a week. I interview many people. But what would stop you from being vegan? What do you think's the big thing?
I'm just not. I can't put in all that work, dude. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
just.
That's what the last, the girl that just walked up the street, they gave me that too, and that makes a lot of sense. You know why it's expensive? It's because we're set up for it. Like, the world right now is 99% not vegan, so everything is subsidized. Like, the meat industry gets $40 billion a
Also,
year.
I don't have like the self-control for something like that.
Yeah, but here's the
Because
thing.
As Muslims, anyways, we have so many things that are.
I
protected.
know it's a discipline. I'm aware. I have friends. I have friends that are. I know. But the thing is, it doesn't take discipline once you find it. Once you find those things.
Yeah,
I
if
still
you're
eat.
passionate, I respect that.
I still eat meat and cheese and milk and eggs, just vegan versions of, just the
Oh, okay.
vegan versions of.
Okay,
I
I
just
was
had
like,
two. I'm a fake vegan. I'm a cheating vegan. No, but I just had 2 chicken sandwiches from Morningstar, and you don't miss out on the taste because you find the ones that taste the same. And it might be a little bit more expensive, but we got to ask ourselves, is this premium worth more than an animal's life?
I respect that you have your principles. I
Yeah.
respect that.
But you can do it too, and that's why I'm here. You can do it.
Okay,
Like,
dude.
what's your name?
My name is Ozra.
Osra. Okay, I'll let you go. I see you're on
Yeah,
your
no,
way.
You're good. I gotta
You know-
go back to work.
Right on.
Steakhouse,
Vegan
Chinese.
sign guy. Oh, cool. I was up there the other week talking to those guys. Vegan sign guy is my channel name. You'll see interviews like this. Just think about what we talked about, and moving forward, just keep in mind you're just gonna get healthier. It's a bonus.
Yeah,
You just
keep
get.
doing what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate the support.
Yeah. No, I like people who have principles and stick by it because that's hard to come by.
Yeah,
No matter what you believe.
Well, that is you too, and I'm telling you, principally, this is an ethos of which is this is literally aligning the actions with the values. Like, there's a spread when we're not vegan. There's like this big spread, and I can tell in your eyes you're vegan, man. You're a future vegan. Yeah, you are.
I almost did.
All right.
I
Well,
almost did, like legitimately. When I was
Yeah.
younger, I almost did. I
Yeah.
fell down like I don't want to call it falling down because you might like take that a certain way, but
No.
I was like watching a whole bunch of vegan videos like when
Yeah.
I was younger, but then I was just
if
ended up not doing
if
it.
you can remember the best speech you'll ever hear by a guy named Gary Yourofsky, try to remember that one too. That's the one that made me vegan. I've been vegan 12 years now. My daughter's been vegan since birth. I mean, she excels. She's into
Has she ever, like,
martial
wanted to
arts.
not?
No, she's never wanted to not. Because and here's what I get.
I understand that too because people who are not Muslim will ask me, well, haven't you ever wanted to? Because you never did it when you never really made the choice. Like if someone were to convert later,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, dude, it's like what I believe in.
Yeah, and there's a lot of discipline and structure within that religion, and I respect that a lot. And like with the vegan kids, it's like people say, "Oh, you're forcing them to be vegan. What if they don't want to be vegan?" The thing is, when you have a child that doesn't have autonomy yet, you're forcing them with whatever they're eating.
Yeah.
So if you know better,
It's
you do
better
better.
than whoever gives their children a bunch of junk food.
Yeah. We can. Yeah, and that's like you have to be a steward of their health,
And
and
I understand people who go through that too because it's financial gain.
yeah.
But,
Yeah. That's the unfortunate thing. Like right now, everything is financially easier if we're not vegan because of how things are. But if we tilt supply and demand dynamics, things will get cheaper for vegans. It's just supply and demand dynamics. And it starts with us, man. It starts with us voting at that cash register.
You should have caught me with sorbet.
Oh no, all good. Come on. Have a great night. And yeah, cool. Check out the channel if you can. You too. The Vegan Democrat. Doomerang says, human versus animals. You're saying there's lesser humans? That's kind of racist. I'm not sure if I know what you mean by that. Randy says, are you woke? Jesus Christ ate meat then and now. I hunt and I eat fish, says Randy Smith. Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few quick questions? Good, okay. Have a good night. Okay, Randy, I don't even know where to start here. Hey, what's up? Siva, how's it going? Believe it or not, I've actually had some action tonight, although it looks like the scene from Vanilla Sky where Tom Cruise is running in Times Square with nobody around. People are coming up. The thing is, what I would say, Randy, is if Jesus was alive today, I would say, and I think you would agree, that he would be vegan, because Jesus was the most compassionate man that ever lived. So how could we say he'd be anything less than vegan? And to challenge that is just fallacious. It's fallacy. And it's really not an argument. Let's see if we can get a few more people here tonight, guys. Hi, guys. How are you? You guys want to try a few quick questions? Good? Okay. No, all good. Have a great night. All right, we got some dudes coming down here, some alphas. Maybe I can grab them. Humans are animals. In what way are human animal species better than non-human animal species? Great point, says the vegan Democrat. Oh, man, I'm looking here. I totally need a haircut soon here, guys. It's out of control. Sorry I didn't style it for the camera tonight. But it's a nice night out here. You know, we're chilling. I was telling everybody earlier I got a new kind of setup that I'm going to be exacting probably starting next week. I just bought a few things from Target, and I think it's going to be a really cool new dynamic. Hi, guys. All right. They know me. They've seen me. They're purposely ignoring me. Humans are animals. So Doomerang, just because we can't talk to them, that means we should just exploit the hell out of them, because they're not like us as far as language. Which, by the way, I saw a really interesting bit on Bloomberg 2 weeks ago about AI and animal communication. Whoa! Things could get real interesting in the next 5-year time horizon, guys. Because in this episode of, it was a Bloomberg original, they were having seals use this AI, and the seals were communicating with the tech. And they kept on emitting this noise, and the tech said that the seals, or these particular groups of seals, were saying their name. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Can you imagine the implications if you know, we can start actually communicating with animals? It'd be unbelievable. They're not going to be happy, that's for sure. Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few quick questions? All right. Have a great one. But it was on Bloomberg Originals like 2 weeks ago, and it had to do with AI and animal communication. Hey, what's up, Johnny? What's going on, sir? It's kind of a slow night in here, Johnny. If you're expecting like edge of your seat action, I just don't think tonight's the night. But hang out. This is turning into a vegan hangout. This will just be a vegan hangout. Although we've had a few conversations tonight. We've got a few people that came to this side of the sign, and we started some combo with, and the last girl we got with this side of the sign, we went into this chain of questions. And, you know, nothing too crazy, too material. Chris says, go somewhere else. Chris, this is where I'm anchored for the next 16 minutes, buddy. Johnny, that's awesome. Yep, we're officially not the previous channel name. Yeah, this one I think is a little more upbeat and positive. The other one, it was great, but there was kind of a little bit of a negative interpretation of it. Anyway, how's everybody doing tonight? Patrick says false. Plants make snails seem like speed demons. Plants feel. Plants communicate. Plants even fight. Well, you know what's awesome? That's actually an argument for veganism. If you really are a plants' rights activist, you make the case for veganism with that posturing. It takes 8 times more plants. You kill 8 times more plants when you're not vegan, man. Let's step up and let's really be a plants' rights activist here. Go vegan. You kill 8 times more plants So hang on. Hi guys. You guys want to try a few quick questions? YouTube live? All right. A great one. So a cow is a very inefficient biological machine, right? It takes in 8 units of energy and only gives out 1. So what do cows eat? They're not eating rocks and they're not eating animals. They're eating plants. So if you are truly for plants' rights, you're vegan.
What's this guy saying?
Okay. Poor plants. And honestly, I think plants are beautiful too. And I think they don't have sentience, but they do. They are intelligent, and there's some really cool, wonderful things that we're learning about plants on a progressive basis. But veganism we draw the line at sentience. Plants are not sentient. Right? Lewis agrees. How's there in the U.S.? Could you even hang out without getting shot? I'll tell you one thing. There are some days where my friend the other day said, he sent me a message and he goes, dude, I think it's time to start thinking seriously about security and getting security. Can you imagine me walking around with 2 like security guards like Ashton Hall, you know? Okay, if anyone saw my live last week, it got borderline crazy. This guy threatened to throw me into the river. Let's go! Bible Dump Podcast, how's it going? He got up in my face and he literally said, apologize or I'm going to throw you in that river. And I was like, no. And it just kind of got worse from there. It wasn't the healthiest interaction. And looking back at it, I wish I could have addressed it a little bit differently. Okay, Patrick. Then go vegan, man. What's going on, guys? Guys want to try a few quick questions? All right. Guess not. Raphael, I think that's another argument that has nothing to do with veganism. I mean, if you're intimating that we should be hunting, that's not nice at all. We should not be hunting. Well, Patrick, that's great. If you think they're sentient, then you should be vegan. Remember, you kill 8 times more plants if you're not vegan. So be aligned with your own values, dude. Go vegan. I agree. Plants are awesome. Yeah, they're alive. Hi, guys. You guys want to try a few quick questions?
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Me too.
Let's see. A lot of ignorers tonight. We're just out here in the middle of the street on a beautiful night, asking people why they're not vegan yet. Getting down to the bottom of it. All right, we're going to switch it up for the last 12 minutes or so. This one garnered me more success earlier. Patrick, we're going to make you vegan before this live stream is over, dude. Patrick, are you against animal abuse in general? This is for Patrick. I think you are. In fact, I bet you are. I mean, all these arguments are what your buddies like to propagate, industry likes to propagate. Don't be one of those people that just follows orders, listens to what everybody else says. If you're against animal abuse, then you're a vegan at heart, dude. Johnny says, made some homemade ramen today, added ginger for the first time. Oh, cool. It sounds awesome, actually. I haven't done ramen in a long time. I haven't done noodles like that. Actually, I did do ramen like 4 weeks ago in DC. They got this sick place. Johnny, you might even have been there. I think it's called Daikaya, Daikaya, Daikaya. It's near the Capital One Center. And oh my God, the ramen's ridiculous, dude. Hi, guys. But yeah, if you're ever in DC, Johnny, check out Daikya, Daikya. The thing is, you got to sit right next to, like, if you go with a couple or if you go with somebody else, if you go just by yourself, you're literally sitting right next to somebody or right across from somebody. So you got to be in a social mood. Went there with my wife, and all right. Got to yell her out the window. Why do people do that? I mean, you guys do it in the chat, and now we got people in the street. I just ate a hamburger. That person literally rolled down their window to say that they ate a hamburger. What is it coming to in this world? Patrick says, "Are you an artist?" Without going to drop into that, please. What? I don't know what that means. Internet Help says, "I'm not vegan, but I just want to change the question. You should not ask what are animals for us. Instead, I think you should ask yourself what really animals see looking at humans." That's an interesting school of thought. Well, I think we would back up even farther from that. I'm here to help. We would kind of look at things from a more macro perspective instead of conflating things and kind of, I don't know, trying to think in abstract ways. Just very simply looked at from a macro point of view, animals are sentient. They have a subjective experience of their own life. They have eyes to see, nose to smell, brains to think, sensors to feel pain. And when we are not vegan, we are paying for those sentient individuals to die for something we're going to forget in a week. So we can do all the mental gymnastics and question things from different angles, but the crux of the matter is there's no need for this kind of violence anymore in 2025. That's right, Palestinians. We can be all for our war causes and still be vegan. And in fact, if we're against violence in general, we're hypocrites if we're not vegan. Oh, maybe Johnny, via my Instagram. I have one now. My Instagram is Vegan Sign Guy 2 now, so you can DM me on the Instagram for sure. Yeah, we were saying like maybe this summer. That'd be cool. I was thinking like maybe at the National Mall somewhere or near the White House where there's a ton of traffic, where there's a ton of traffic. And yeah, that'd be cool, man. That'd be pretty cool. All right, let's see if we can get these guys. Oh, they're avoiding. Oh, yeah. You could just start one just to have it for messaging, like messaging, friends, because it's just so tough on YouTube. All right, there's a bunch of people coming down. This might be our chance for glory, for a big conversation with a big crowd. This is it. This is what it all comes down to. Oh, they're coming down right now. They're meters away. Everybody's going to see this beautiful word vegan here and hopefully come and chat. If you're just getting here, we are questioning the public tonight and asking them why they're not vegan. Stay tuned for an interview that could come at any moment. What's going on, guys? Who wants to try? 3 quick questions. 3 minutes. Could just test your values a little bit. All right. Have a good night. Guys, want to try a few quick questions? Who wants to try? All right. All right. They're easy. But you'll be on my YouTube live. Well, they're actually really easy, and then they get a little harder, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Okay, I finally got some content tonight. Okay, I just asked 3 questions, right? This is just called pop-up, basically pop-up street activism. What do you think veganism is? Like, what's your definition of it?
Not eating animal products.
Yeah, like that's a huge part of it, right? The food part's kind of consequential. It goes with clothes too, and it goes with animal testing and all that kind of stuff. I like to just amplify and let people know that it's a bit deeper than that. It's more so a vote to absolve yourself from like violence, essentially. The second question is, are you against animal abuse? That's an easy one, right? Probably a hard yes.
Yeah, I would say I'm against
Yeah.
animal abuse.
Most everybody is, right? I mean, reflexively. And then you can kind of see where see where it's going with the third question is how can we collectively be against animal abuse when we're collectively paying for it 3 times a day? And I'll even go a step further than that, and I'll say it's not abuse. It's actually 1, 2, or 3 times worse than abuse, because there's a whole gamut of things that take place to that poor animal. So how do you think we can pair that or be like kind of true to our values if we're voting otherwise? That's the hard question, and I'm not here to catch you out because I was not vegan for 30 years. I'm 42 now, though. What do you think about that?
I mean, we could eat like from small farms, local stuff. Definitely
An
better,
uptick.
better than the,
Yeah.
the big.
An uptick,
industrial
an
farms.
uptick ethically, right? But we tilt towards the animal outlook. Like if an animal, like if you eat meat once every 5 years, that one animal has to go look at that farmer and see that downward credit and have everything taken away from him for nothing. For someone to go yum yum and then that experience to pass, and we won't even remember it in a week. Do you think we need anything nutritionally from an animal?
Vitamin B12.
Okay, but that doesn't come from an animal.
Well, you can't say that, taking milk from a cow or eggs from
Yeah.
a chicken is really hurting them.
I think when you look at it like that, absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's a system underneath there's
of
more
course, yeah.
wheels
What
turning.
if I buy my own cow and it
Yeah.
stays in the field and I milk it and then
That sounds
I think
like
that
a Disney movie or something. But that
Yeah.
doesn't happen, you know? We can there's all kinds of hypotheticals, but that just doesn't happen. Like the dairy industry,
Problems in mass production.
the mass production,
Yeah.
but even if it's production, it's an object. And if it's an object, then it's going to be abused because it's all about money. It has nothing to do with caring. Farmers will say, oh, we care for our animals, we look after them. But what kind of care is that when you send them to the slaughterhouse so they can get... That's not care. That's terrible. So it's basically just kind of getting you to introspect a little bit. Like the dairy industry, when we pay for dairy, we're paying for a farmer to basically stick his hand up a cow's anus, hold down his cervix, and then just say throw the bull semen in there, everything against the female's will. If you were to put that in the context of a human, that's like the movie. That's like a movie that's rated beyond R. Yeah, gin tonic's great, but I appreciate you guys for stopping. My channel name is Vegan Sign Guy. You can look me up and see all kinds of conversations like this. There was a guy last week. He wanted to throw me in the water. So if you look it up, you'll see that video. It got real heated, real fast. But think about it, because our big vote is with the dollar, not the ballot for the political ballot.
If you increase the price of what you buy,
Yeah.
then you're increasing the quality of life of each animal that you are consuming. And it's not logical to think that people are going to renounce meat.
Yeah.
Because people are just, it has just become commodified, and that's why the abuse and the systematic approach of just treating animals like soup animal, because we don't talk about them in terms of humans. We can't make that
Yeah.
comparison because we have conscious,
But-
we have limited conscious,
Yeah.
and they are smart animals, but they're
Yeah.
never gonna get to the level of humans.
I think we don't really look at the consciousness. Have you heard of sentience? Do you know what sentience
Yeah,
is?
obviously, yeah.
So, yo,
Sentient
we know
animals are
that,
very
right?
smart animals, pigs are very smart.
Yeah.
Same as dogs, similar
Yeah.
as dogs. But the
So-
thing is, the problem is, it's only gonna get better if you increase the price of.
I see what you're
the
saying.
pound
Like
per-
make it a premium
So
for
they can
for
have
paying
a better
for.
life.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
At least.
But what you said first, it's never going to change. Every single injustice that has changed, there was always people saying it's never going to change. And the thing is, for nutrition, we don't need anything for nutrition. So that stark implication is just looming there until we do something about it.
If you go to the argument of just consuming protein from plants,
Yeah.
the ratio amount of volume that you need is very large compared to.
Now, I understand. Yeah, I understand.
The amount of resources you need to also produce those plants is much worse than what you need.
Well-
for smaller animals, you're talking
Yeah.
about cows. I know.
Yeah.
We're gonna head towards
Yeah.
the amount of cow resources you use.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's different for chickens. It's different for small birds.
Well, the energy conversion ratio is still worse for the planet and for the animals. Like a cow, for instance,
For
eight.
chickens, it's pretty good.
A cow is 8-1. A chicken is probably 2-1. But there's no way that eating a chicken is benefiting the.
And now we can if you don't want to talk about that, you can
Yeah.
even go to like fish and like mollusk or
Yeah.
any type of other like sea animal.
Yeah, but they're sentient
Maybe
too.
not
Yeah.
octopuses because they're like higher in the sentient scale.
I got you.
Obviously, there's a sentient scale, but you know, like as you go lower, like
Yeah, let me tell you something. I know there's like a stigma that vegans have, right? They have a stigma. I've been vegan 12 years, right? My daughter's been vegan. She's never had any animal products. She's healthier than a lot of people, I think. And I enjoy everything. I just had burgers earlier tonight, but vegan burgers, right? You can have cheese and milk and eggs, but vegan version of, right? So it's just like
you don't
you're
eat fish.
but I can have Good Catch foods. Good Catch is a brand that makes vegan seafood, and they taste the same. They taste the same. Of course, you're gonna have to find your
Well,
own.
that's very personal and subjective because
Yeah.
I've had it and it doesn't taste
Yeah, but you can search it
You
out.
can season it as much as
Yeah.
you can, but it would never be the
I
same
agree with that.
flavoring
But
butter.
we have to think what's more important, all this taste like preference or literally sentient life. I mean, we're voting for systems of violence that we don't have to vote for anymore.
No, you're not really voting for a system of violence. You're
Yeah.
subscribing yourself by
Literally died
purchasing
without-
cheap animals
Yeah.
product. That's why Walmart and all these places like make buck out of you because they're like lowering the quality of life of all the animals
Of course.
instead of increasing by.
Oh, they're
30
never they're
cents,
never going to do that.
increasing by
They're,
30
they'll do
cents
whatever's good for
the
them.
quality of life of them.
Yeah.
They could have a great life.
Yeah.
Look,
That's a good point.
Look, let me cook.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh okay. Yeah.
So all these animals, what would you do with them if we stopped eating them?
This is a great question.
You
And I,
set them free?
yeah. So
They wouldn't survive.
if we stopped eating
on
them,
their own.
it's not going to happen overnight. Like it's not going to be like a boom. We're all vegan and we got to find places for the animals. It's going to happen over a period of time. Just look at my channel, vegan sign guy, vegan sign guy. Yeah, and like all these like animals, we can find sanctuaries for them over a period of time. But like we're not going to go vegan overnight. Like look how much friction I'm having here tonight, just having a healthy conversation, with people. I mean, but these are the kinds of conversations that need to be had because it starts with us. It's not legislation or industry that's going to change. It's the consumer that's voting, and we have to change our vote.
Isn't it true that so I don't know how true it is, but supposedly like the places where they raise tofu and stuff,
Okay.
you can't have you have to murder all the animals around.
Yeah,
You can't
we get
do
this
anything.
argument a lot. Yeah, this is the infamous crop death argument. So this is how that we debunk this one. So if you're voting for first of all, it's not about perfection. No vegan's perfect, and we're not trying to be perfect because we know we can't be perfect. So keeping that into account, we have to realize that 99% of farmers are not vegan. So if they're growing tofu, they could care less about the moles, the rats, the crop deaths. So you can't expect us to leapfrog the consumer, go right to the farmer and say, stop killing those moles. It's the fault falls on us as consumers because we're voting for direct animal exploitation, which propagates these systems where these peripheral deaths happen, crop deaths. So basically, we get a vegan world going and we won't have these crop deaths, but it comes down to the dollar. What would stop you guys from going vegan? Taste or habit?
I'm already a vegetarian.
Oh, okay, very cool.
Eat it. If I don't eat it, I don't get my iron that I need.
But you can get that from plants, super easy. The one thing I would say, vegetarianism. Why'd you go vegetarian?
So I work at an open intake rural animal shelter.
Oh, very cool.
It's just the smell of meat. I can't do it now.
Yeah.
It's on and off. I don't restrict myself, but most of the time I.
Is it because you said it's so they kill there, I guess, or
So yes, we euthanize animals.
yeah, no, yeah. Is there a smell of?
We
Okay.
get them also coming in rotted. So,
Heard,
from the side of
heard,
the road,
heard.
Rotted. We're having them scanned for microchips.
I would argue that's your herbivorous anatomical design that doesn't want to smell that and is disgusted by it, right? Some people in
And,
the chat.
Also a crematory in our back. So the smell of barbecue for someone
Yeah.
else is the smell of rotting dog for me.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, you don't get hungry.
The dog in a crematory mistakenly. I can't.
Yeah, you don't get hungry when you see roadkill or you see a dead animal on the road. That's our herbivorous design. But meat, I can tell you, I eat different versions of plant-based meat, and you can find plant-based meat that tastes the same. That tastes the same, the absolute same. Don't listen to all the BS that industry spouts about Beyond Meat and Impossible. It's all bullshit. They're telling you, ultra processed, all these chemicals. It's all bullshit. It's basically them trying to protect their profits. Yeah, but it's the thing is the choice. There's also a choice involved underneath that because there's an animal that doesn't have a choice, and you're saying you're forcing your opinion.
Alive, though. That's the whole reason it was born.
But who told you that? Who taught you that?
My animal instinct.
Okay. I mean, I would argue from the animal's point of view, they'd have a different point of view on that.
Yeah, but everything on this earth has a purpose, and that's what that purpose is.
Well, we decided that. Like,
It's not benefiting anything else.
I think bodily autonomy is a nice thing to have, right?
Yeah, but they live a good life. All they're gonna do is,
Yeah.
slow down.
I get it, but they don't have to die. That's the thing. Like, we can be guardians and not bullies. That's the whole reason for this whole dynamic is just to appeal to your nobler motives. That's it.
Which
Like,
is understood, but like,
yeah.
I don't want to get into like the religious aspect of it, but it's like.
I'm telling you, veganism backs religion 100%.
You know,
I
but
mean,
it's interesting to think like this goes into like entirely like deep level. Why are we here?
yeah. Well, there's many questions, but we do know.
If you go into a third world country,
Yeah.
no one's gonna be like, I'm vegan.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
veganism. No, they have no idea.
They can't. It's survival at that point.
Survival, exactly. So we're over here, so hoity-toity.
Yeah.
We're worried about buying the next new brand new shoe, the next new phone.
Yeah.
And now we're so bored with ourselves, we're like, oh, the cows.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we have the readily available options now. We can go to Chipotle. You just made a case for veganism right there. Like Inuits in Alaska, I can't judge them. Nobody can. Like it's survival. Somebody has to survive.
That's how it's supposed to be.
But this is not survival. This
That's
is
how it's
we're
supposed to
going to Chipotle and buying a factory farmed animal that doesn't need to die, and it's
Exactly.
being sent there for gluttony, essentially,
But
like the
look,
collective.
here,
The
look,
collective.
On a deep level,
Yeah.
If we didn't have that factory, that animal
Yeah.
would have never been born.
Well, what would you rather? Would you want to be born into a life like that?
Unfortunately, I was born into this life.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
have a choice.
Yeah, but now, yeah, but I would not want to be born into a life. That's not a purpose to me. I mean, most people like nutrition is moot now. We don't need anything nutritionally from an animal. Zero. There's not one vitamin that you can only get from animals. That guy back there said B12, and he said B12 comes from animals, and I said no, it doesn't. Like most people don't. It doesn't. It comes from a bacteria in the soil.
I have B12 vitamins for my own, like.
Yeah, and non-vegans like will supplement with B12 as well because the cows are now supplemented with B12 because the soil is not stewarded right to where you can extrapolate B12 anymore. When they get it, they can't get it from their feed. So now everybody supplements B12. That whole thing is, whatever. But maybe just think about it. I can tell you're strong with your ways. You're not moving your ways. But I think you have a vegan. I think you have a vegan heart though.
I care for animals. I come from working on farms. I've seen it all.
Yeah.
But I come from the aspect of working on a farm and realizing, that's why that animal's there.
But that's what we're taught. Yeah. It's herding culture. Yeah.
The biggest thing, the most respectful thing I've ever seen is the FFA kids who sit there and they literally blow dry their cows. Like they keep their cow hampered. To know at the end of all that hard work, the sweat, blood, and tears,
Yeah.
they gotta sell it to go be eaten.
Yeah.
But they know that they're doing it for a purpose.
The thing is,
support their families. Support all the
that poor
families.
cow
Farmer-
is
Think
going
about
to.
the farmer families. These are people's livelihoods.
Yes, but there's other jobs. You don't have to be, and you can repurpose. You can repurpose land. But a passion shouldn't have to do with taking away somebody else's freedom. That shouldn't be a passion. That's inherently what it is. You're exactly taking away from someone else. There's a lot of hardworking hitmen. There's a lot of hardworking prostitutes. I mean, hard work is not a excuse to do what we do if we're doing things that are unethical.
It makes you a better person.
Yeah.
That type of work.
Well.
You actually work for what you make. You're not sitting behind a desk.
But
making twice as more. They're actually out here breaking their bodies down
I know,
to
but
put food on other people's tables.
moving a little bit to the right, not politically. We can repurpose these farms. We can, right? Yeah. Okay. We're there. Okay. Good. Equilibrium is there. We can take these farms and we can repurpose them, and we can do plant agriculture. And the farmers can work just as hard doing plant agriculture. And we can yield so much more than we yield from farming animals. A cow has an 8-to-1 conversion ratio. We put in 8 units, we get out 1. So the thing is, it's not going to work because there's so much friction because everybody's paying for it. There's a 99% inertia factor.
Like me who's never
Yeah.
gonna stop eating meat.
Yeah.
See, I come from where I want to have my own farm, my own homestead. I don't want the government doing anything with my food.
Yeah.
I want to control if I put antibiotics in my cows, if I vaccinate
Yeah.
my cows. I don't want any control over any of my food. I want to have my
Yeah.
own little spot off away from people, growing my own food.
But I recognize that guy.
Doesn't have a piece of pie.
Yeah. Well, the whole reason I'm here is kind of, and you're pretty, I see you're really stuck in this, and I can't really get you. We're kind of at an impasse here. But I would challenge you to all those sentiments that
That's
you
the whole
have.
point of my discussion is
Yeah.
you're not going to change my opinion. What are we calling this? A debate. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to change the opinion of your debater. You're just supposed to have an ethical debate where I can understand your opinions and you can understand
Yeah.
my opinions and we can agree to disagree.
Well, I would say there's not much point of me going forward if we're at this strong of an impasse, because you have to at least consider the animal as something that's worth living. If you don't, which you've kind of lamented, you don't, then we can't go further. But even having the position to where we're going to give them a great life, but then slit their throats wide open and bleed them out, so somebody can have a meal
Bleed 'em out.
that they won't remember in a few weeks. That's not nice.
You know, that is in the, I might be butchering this, but like in
Yeah.
the halal. And
Yeah,
it's in
the last girl I had
halal.
up here was talking about halal.
Yeah, so halal is actually the most humane, in their way of thinking, is the most humane
Yeah.
way to kill an animal because it keeps them clean.
I know,
They think we're
but it's not.
inhumane.
It's still not nice. It's terrible. I mean, you don't need to do it. Like, this animal could have a life, but instead, they're going to face the wrath of this big bully.
But
Might
that's
is
when
right.
you get on the
Coming down.
the aspect, what is the
Not political.
the
No.
idea, the idea of what is a life for an animal, for a cow.
Sentience.
What is
We
it?
can't, like, I don't even know what a life for you two are. Like, all we have is our own point of view, but we know with the collective intelligence, and we are very smart as a collective, that animals have eyes to see, a nose to breathe, a brain to think. All these things, they have organs to enjoy, and they deserve at least the bare minimum bodily autonomy. And when we're not vegan, we're robbing them
They
of
get
bodily
very well
autonomy.
taken care of.
But the killing's not taken care of. That's not taking care of anybody. That is the absolute abhorrent
But people
opposite
die
of.
every day. You're going to get to the point of overpopulation and then sicknesses and
Well, I mean, if you go vegan, your health gets better. You got the health argument as well. Plus, we can grow all kinds of agriculture that we'll be freeing up land for. Like, animal agriculture takes 50% of the Earth's land mass. That's insane. So we can actually repurpose and feed the world 8 times over if we were to grow plants
I
with
just have a
that
quick
land.
question for
Yeah,
you. Where are you from?
here,
From here?
Annapolis.
Born
Yeah.
and raised in Annapolis?
What's up, buddy? How you doing? You would enjoy? Oh, sorry. It's a little street outreach. Why aren't you vegan yet? Or sometimes I go with that side.
So have you
Uh,
ever taken
yeah.
time to go work on a farm to see what it's like?
I've never worked on a farm myself, but I've engaged in pretty hard work, I'd like to say. And I don't know. It's curious. But once again, like, I can respect somebody's work ethic, but I don't respect it if they're doing something unethical.
Well, the thing is, from brick streets where
Yeah.
there's no grass around.
Yeah.
So you're
But
trying
don't
to
you think
understand where you come
don't you think
from.
we can evolve in 2025 and be compassionate instead of being violent?
I'm very compassionate. People
Well,
are
not if you
very-
hold those positions. You're not.
I'm very compassionate.
The thing is, the actions speak louder than the words. And when you go to the cash register and you say, it looks so seamless when we go to the cash register, we hand them $1 and we say, oh, thank you very much. You're casting a vote for what you want to see in the world. Do you want to see violence and rape, or do you want to see peace? And if you're not vegan, unfortunately, it's the former, and that's what you're voting for. It's that simple. And there's no way to mental gymnastics that. That's what it is. The supply and demand system is the maker of all things when it comes to manifesting what we want to see in the world. But I'll let you guys go. I can see we're at an impasse here. But just remember, vegan sign guy. Remember, vegan sign guy. Check me out. I got conversations. You'll see a guy that wanted to throw me in the river last week. If you look up the video that I did last week. But it's something to really think about.
What you do?
I appreciate you guys.
If I could.
Yeah. Oh, please. Yeah. Shoot. Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on like animal shelters and like a kill versus a no kill shelter? Do you have
Yeah.
like, insight on any of
So-
that? Because you say that like it's cruel, and I do come from like a rural open intake shelter. I'm not like I don't euthanize them myself, but
Yeah.
I am in the room when it happens.
I see.
And
It's probably hard for you to see.
so like, do you think those people are evil?
I think that's not really. No, I do not. I'm going to say I do not. And honestly, I think we're all interconnected. Like I'm interconnected. Yeah, but with, I don't think evil. We're not here to judge people. We're here to judge the argument, right? The argument. So what they're doing might not be ethical, but I can't. I'm not saying a person's evil. Me and you. We're interconnected. Me and you. We're interconnected. That guy right there. We're all interconnected. It would be stupid for me to attack somebody and call them evil. But the argument, like doing something unnecessarily for the point of money or livelihood, is not a good enough justification to continue doing something. That's kind of my posturing, and you can kind of proliferate that into different hypotheticals or arguments or contexts that you may have. But all veganism is doing your best. It's doing your best. If you have to have a job where you work and that's involved, you're doing your best. But what we can do, the bare minimum, is take our vote out of the meat, cheese, milk, and eggs, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's the bare minimum. And then we can start speaking up like this. And I'm not asking anybody to come out here and speak up. Just do the bare minimum. Just be vegan, and align the actions with the values.
Yeah, but I think being like an American, I think that's the best part of being an American is I have the choice that if I want to go have a steak for breakfast, I can
Yeah.
have a steak for breakfast, and if you want to have tofu for
Yeah.
breakfast, you can have tofu.
But that's the whole choice thing I was talking about earlier. We're not giving them a choice. You're taking everything away from them, including their choice to live. So it's what you're saying aligns with veganism. if you're arguing out of freedom, and it's also you're freeing yourself from the energy of consuming violence. When you consume an animal, you're consuming violence. This guy the other day he's like, what do you want me to give them rights to vote? Are we going to start giving them checks now for the work they do? I said, dude, no, man. Absolutely. It's bodily autonomy. Say again?
I said, I think I trust my dog with those rights.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I trust one of my cats, not the other one.
Now, do you go against hunting practices then?
I mean, it's unnecessary, which it is,
No,
of
it's
course.
not. It actually controls the population.
No, it's unnecessary.
No big game
There's a great website called adapt.org, ADAPTT.org, where he destroys every argument as far as conservation-based hunting. It's just an excuse for a hunter to get his gun off to kill. It is, unfortunately. And the thing is, we don't need that though. And what about the animal? If we're not looking at the animal outlook, then we can't have an intelligent conversation because we have to tilt to the animal outlook. If we're not tilting and we're not operating out of the animal outlook, what are we doing?
Animals on the same level
No,
as humans?
lower. I
So-
lower.
Hypothetical.
Yeah.
Say if my argument is right, say it's not right.
Yeah.
Deer population goes up because hunters can't hunt anymore in rural areas. Therefore, more car accidents happen with hitting cars means more death of innocent people.
I think we can speculate on either side of the fence ad infinitum, but I think that's a bridge you want to cross when we get there. We can speculate on either side of the fence nutritionally ad infinitum, but when it comes down to it, we have our current context and what we're choosing to do right now. Do we want to align ourselves with, X or align ourselves with Y? I got to get ready to wrap up, guys. I got a lot of people in here now.
What's it called?
But Vegan Sign Guy. So check out Vegan Sign Guy.
Where are you on Instagram or Facebook?
This is YouTube. But I'm on Instagram and TikTok as well. Just started.
I'm interested
What were
in
your
seeing
names?
people's signs.
What were your names?
My name's Kristen.
Kristen, I'm Jimmy. What's your name?
Hannah.
Hannah, nice to meet you guys,
Nice to
man.
meet you.
Thanks for stopping by.
No problem.
Your curiosity brought you over here.
We love opinionated conversation. We're not afraid
And it's kind
to
of
be bold.
some like live entertainment tonight. It's kind of dead out here. So we had a nice conversation, some highs, some ebbs, some flows. It was good. It's healthy.
Well, it's nice
All right,
meeting you.
nice to meet you too. Have a great night. All right, guys, I got to get ready to go. It's getting cold, and I'm starting to freeze. Thanks for being here. If you want, like and subscribe. I thought that was an interesting conversation. Wasn't really going anywhere. She just wasn't considering the animal outlook, and that's a problem if we're going to keep going with this conversation, which was going on for a long time. It was just going on too long. She just wanted to debate, and I was trying to have some productivity, and I could see that we were at an impasse. But she wanted to kind of go a little farther. But they were really nice people, and we had a healthy conversation. So I'm glad we participated in that dynamic. All right, everybody. James, the vegan son, guy's about to sign off for the night. I planned on being out here for an hour. It ended up being 80 minutes. That's awesome. Thanks, Lewis. Vegan Stoner Lady, I saw you're here. Thank you. Johnny, let's go. Johnny Vegan Seed in the house. And all my other friends I haven't mentioned. The Vegan Democrat. Man, I guess you're my friend too. I don't know if I've seen you before or you have had a different name. Nerds like us. And Nora, if you're still here, you're awesome too. All right, guys. But I'll keep you posted next week. I am going to be starting something a little bit new, and you'll see what that is. I don't think it's going to be live stream though. It'll be a long form, but it should be a new kind of facet and dynamic with the channel. Should be cool. Everybody go vegan. Vegan for the animals. Boycott the violence, and let's change this world. Have a great night, guys.